Hello my guys, welcome to my December unboxing, which is actually quite a modest one for me, but it is one that I am very excited about. So as usual, before we get started, I will let you know everything that I'm going to be opening up for you guys today. I have a very special box from Penguin Michael Joseph. This arrived before Christmas, but I was so busy just like getting stuff done to prepare for Christmas, and then I didn't want to film during the festive period, that I haven't opened it yet. But everyone who's received an early copy of this book and has read it has just been raving about it. So this wasn't really on my radar up until this point, but I'm very excited to dive into it, and I think it is a February release. I then have two Fairyloot boxes that were sent to me by Fairyloot because I am currently a rep for them. So I receive all of their monthly subscriptions and their epic quarterly subscription free of charge to show to you guys on my channel, which of course I am eternally grateful for. So thank you so much to Fairyloot for sending these my way. If y'all aren't aware of Fairyloot, where have you been? Because they are the king of special editions. Fairyloot are a UK based subscription box. Their 3 monthly subscriptions are a young adult, I think this is the young adult box, which has a brand new young adult fantasy release in an exclusive hardback edition with a selection of bookish goodies. And then they also have their book only romantasy and adult subscriptions, which you can get individually or in a combo box. I think the YA box also comes in a book only that you can add to a combo. But this is of course a brand new adult fantasy release in the case of the adult subscription, or a romantasy release in the case of the romantasy subscription, once again in an exclusive hardback special edition. On top of that, I have just one Fairyloot edition that I've purchased for myself. This one is their exclusive edition of The Irresistible Urge to Fall for My Enemy. I can't remember the author name, and it is very unusual for me to actually purchase a special edition book that I haven't read before by an author that I've never read from, but the mock-up for this was so beautiful that I wanted to get my hands on it just in case this ends up being a book that I love, because I know if I do then I'll regret not having the Fairyloot edition. And then lastly, I have my rep package from Lunar Bookish Flames candles. They are a UK based bookish subscription box company. All of their candles are soy and woodwick. I do have a discount code which is Becca15, and that will get you 15% off your entire Lunar Bookish Flames order if you would like to make a purchase after watching this video. And this, I think, is their entire brand new Stranger Things collection, which I have not seen yet. I'm so behind that I'm currently catching up on Squid Game season 3. I've just watched season 2 and gone straight into season 3 afterwards, and I'll get to Stranger Things eventually, but I am a fan. No spoilers, please. So I'm going to start off with the box from Penguin Michael Joseph. I am also an ambassador for Penguin Michael Joseph, which is why I get so many like arcs and promotional things from them. Thank you so much to Penguin Michael Joseph as well for everything that you have done in 2025. It has been a very fun year. But in this box we have a couple of goodies as well as the arc. So in terms of the extras, we have this magnetic bookmark. The book in question is of course a stage set for villains. The back says shush, no spoilers. We have this little mirror, and on the back it says, if not in this one, then in the next. Intriguing. We also have a couple of stickers. This one says Finders Keepers, and this one is Mayhem Books. A little card with the rules of the Playhouse. On the back, of course, we have the rules, and they are Rule 1, never wish an actor good luck. You might as well wish disaster on all of your castmates. Rule 2, all players and auditionees alike are to stay out of the dark, whether a rehearsal room, stage, or even your own dressing room. Never enter a dark space in the Playhouse. Follow the lights. The Playhouse is a different place after hours, and our stage manager doesn't take kindly to those who disregard the rules. Rule 3, and consider this the most important, never break the fourth wall for your safety and for others. That means you, reader. So the book in question is of course a stage set for villains by Shannon J. Span. Like I said, anyone who I've seen that has already read this early copy, or the little samplers that they gave out at Yelp, which I think was the first like quarter of the book or something like that, have had an amazing time with it. And I also believe it has a couple of shocking plot twists. So I'm very excited to get to this one. The release date for this is the 5th of February. So this one will be in my February arc vlog, along with the 2 other February releases that I have review copies for, which off the top of my head is Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinnerman and also Fire and Blood by Ryan Carhill. So that is going to be a very exciting installment because all of those are highly anticipated releases for me. And if you want to pre-order this at all, I'm pretty sure there is a water Waterstones edition as well. Like I said, I've heard very good things, so I feel like this is going to be a hit release of the year. Next up, let's tackle the Fairyloots, and I actually am going to start with the monthly boxes. I am very, very excited about both the Romantasy and the adult books for December. They're both, I don't want to say 5-star predictions for me because it's very rare that I give 5 stars, but they're ones that I'm very, very excited to read. So I think we're going to save that because I want to see the editions. I have been spoiled for a lot of these actually because I've been looking on Vinted for a Waterstones edition of a different book, and I keep getting like the Fairyloot books for sale coming up on my homepage even though I'm not searching for them. But we'll start with the young adult box so that I can save the ones that I'm the most excited for last. This one I will have at some point known what it is, but I've forgotten as usual. Oh, I know what this is. I've just remembered straight away what this is. Let me find the spoiler card. I like the color palette that we have going on in this box, which is an icy blue, but the theme for this month is Neon Lies. And if you guys would like to read the spoilers, you can pause here to take a look. I, as usual, will be going in blind. And first off, we have one of my favorite subscription box items, which is socks. These are inspired by Warcross, I'm assuming. Warcross by Marie Lou. And I love me a subscription box socks. My subscription box socks actually are some of the long lasting ones that I have. Of all of the pairs of subscription box socks I've ever had, I think I've only ever lost like 2 pairs, and one was because Brie chewed holes in them. So they're pretty sturdy stuff. This is one of Fairyloot's little acrylic book vases. This one matches the I've just seen what's in this box. Oh my god, Fairyloot. I'm so excited. One of my favorite items. Anyway, the book vase. I really like the art that is on this, and it is also matching the theme of the month. And yes, the art also is the same art that is on the actual vase. I really like the art style of this. I have said before when I've received these, this is the 3rd one that's been included in a Fairyloot, that they're not my favorite item. I know a lot of people love these like book acrylic vases right now. I, as somebody who is not a flower person, they look really good with like a spray of flowers in them, but I don't have any flowers, so they're not the most useful items to me, but I do, like I said, love the art style on here, and I love the color palette of everything we've got going on so far this month. Something that is one of my favorite items that I do typically see in Illumicrates, this is the first one that I've ever seen in the Fairyloot, is the dust cover. So I have a bunch of these, all from Illumicrates, and every single time I use one in a video, I get a question about where they're from. And I've referred people to other places where you can get similar ones in the past. So I'm really excited to have a new one from Fairyloot. They are slightly different to the Illumicrate ones in that they're padded. The Illumicrate ones are more of just like a protective, like fake leather cover. They also have a clasp on them, which this one doesn't, but I do make use of these every time I read a hardback that's like a special edition and take the dust jacket off. I do use one of these because if you, I mean, I don't have especially oily skin, but if you do, you can rub the foil off the hardcover, like the naked hardcover, with your hands while you're reading. So that just protects against that, and obviously scuffs and scratches and stuff. And this one is inspired by the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, which is actually one of my favorite YA series. So that's cool. Next up, we have an iron-on patch. I wish I had something that I patched. Ooh, this is really cute as well. I didn't know what the theme was going to be. It's inspired by Darker by 4, which I think is by June CL Tan, if I'm correct. I am indeed, and I really like the cute cat and like almost crystal ball design. I haven't read that book. I do have it. I haven't read it yet though, so I don't know if that is the vibe, but I like the design. This is a very good Fairyloot box. I'm having a good time so far. As usual with Fairyloots now, we have the overlays that go with the book of the month. The book is of course Cold Wire by Chloe Gong. Oh, I like what I can see through the bubble wrap of the cover as well. But here are the overlays. We have a very urban design on here, which I guess makes sense because this is a sci-fi. I'm assuming it's a sci-fi. I have made the mistake of assuming that quite a few books I picked up are sci-fis recently, and they've turned out to be fantasy, but it is very rare that you get a sci-fi in the Fairyloot box. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do enjoy myself some sci-fi, I just absolutely do not read enough of it. So just before we get into the book of the month, we have the 2 tarot cards. These are bonus items that come in the Fairyloot box, and when you have enough, you will of course make a full deck. I'm going to assume once again that these are characters from this month's book, and the cards are the Hanged Man and Death. And then finally, let us check out the book of the month. So I'm pretty sure I know what the original cover of this looks like, but I'm intrigued by what I can see. Once again, love the color palette, and it is indeed Cold Wire by Chloe Gong. Ooh, pretty. I like this is a really specific thing. Oh my god. It's okay. The tape on the bubble wrap was on the cover and I was scared for a minute, but it's quite a shiny cover, so it pulled off really easily. We also have the bookmark that matches the monthly spoiler card art. And like I said, this is a really specific thing to like about this, but I really love the positioning of the text in here, where it goes up the side and across the top. I will of course overlay the original cover so that you guys can see the difference, but I do think that this is an improvement because the original cover is just, it's not really giving anything, like it's fine. I'd still maybe pick it up and look at the synopsis, but it's not the most inspired thing. I think that this is definitely an improvement. Oh, I love the sprayed edges. We of course have custom end papers that are different on both sides. The naked hardcover is looking quite nice to me. Oh, you guys know I love me a printed hardcover. This has a little bit of foil on, but not so much that I feel like it's overly taken over the design. And then under the naked dust cover, we do of course have the original UK cover in a different colorway. So overall, I am very happy with this edition. I have sampled a Chloe Gong book before. I started these Violent Delights, I think, and I ended up DNFing it. That was actually in 2025, but I don't think Chloe Gong is a write-off for me, so we'll see how I do with Coldwire. But the synopsis on this says, for decades the world has been caught in a cold war between two powerful nations, Madalowo, no, that's not how you pronounce that, Madalowo and Atahua. The Medan orphans who live in Atahua suffer the cost. Their enrollment at Nile Military Academy is mandatory. Either serve as a soldier or risk being labelled a spy. 18-year-old Irali is one such orphan. Having recently graduated and joined Nile Corps forces, she's doing well for herself until Atahua's most wanted anarchist frames her for assassinating a government official, and she's given a choice. Cooperate with him to search for a dangerous program in Madalowo. I am struggling not only because of the just general pronunciation, but because this is the second video I've filmed since I've been off for Christmas and I feel like I've forgotten how to speak. Cooperate with him to search for a dangerous program in Madalowo or go down for treason. Meanwhile, 17-year-old Leah is close to her own graduation when she's paired with her academic nemesis for one final assignment. But when they are ordered to infiltrate Madalowo in virtual reality, Leah quickly realizes there is much more at stake than her school ranking. As Irali and Leah tour through Madalowo on separate courses, the two start to suspect they are pieces in a larger conspiracy, and the closer they get to the truth, the closer their worlds come to a shattering collision. So it's not putting me off, but it's not saying anything that's getting me really excited. So the proof of this one is going to be in the pudding. I'm going to have to give this one a try. Like I said, I'm really happy with this Fairyloot box overall. Let me know down in the description box what your favorite items are from this box. Mine are equally the socks and the dust jacket, two of my favorite things to receive in sub boxes, whereas the other two items, I know especially the vase is going to be very, very popular with a lot of people. Not one of my personal favorites, but overall I think a really good solid Fairyloot box. Moving on to the ones that I'm so excited about, which are the adult and the romantasy book. Now I will say I do already have copies of both of these books because I am an ambassador for both of the publishers, but I'm really excited to see what Fairyloot has done with these editions. I haven't read either of the books yet, but they are ones that I think I'm really going to like. One of them because of the author, I've heard really good things about her, and the other one I am vibing so hard with the synopsis. So the first one that we have is the Romantasy. I really like the edge on this, but the theme for the December Romantasy box is Betray Me Again, and the book of the month is of course We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. So I've heard amazing things about Stacia Stark in general. I really like this. I wasn't sure with the glimpse that I saw of it on Vinted whether I did like this cover, because some covers with characters on like people I don't love. Like the Metal Slinger one is fine, but it didn't really appeal to me. But I think the reason why I like this one and why I'm especially excited for this book, aside from just the fact that it's by Stacia Stark, is because it has a Roman Empire influence with vampires. So vampires, I'm unsure about. Vampires don't always work for me these days, but Roman Empire, sign me up. So I will of course overlay the original over the top. It is once again like a pretty standard cover. I'd pick it up and look at it, but it's not one of the favorite things I have on my shelf, you know. I really like the like dark blue into pinky red that we have on here, and I also really like how we have the same on the printed edge, and I also feel like these symbols here are giving Red Rising, which I'm not mad about. Ooh, I love the art style we have on the end papers, which of course as usual are different on each side. Under the dust jacket, ooh, she fancy. This one is a little bit more heavily foiled as well as printed, but I do like this one. I think once again it is because of the color palette that's really appealing to me. And then on the inside of the dust jacket, we once again have the original UK cover in a different colorway. So like I said, this one is Roman Empire with vampires. I am going to just read you guys the regular synopsis because that's going to give you a little bit more detail that I've unfortunately forgotten. Ruled by their vampiric emperor, life in the perilous Thorn district is a constant battle for Arvel and her family. So when offered a chance to save her brother's life, she takes a magical vow. It will bind her to do the impossible, kill the emperor. But to get close to him, she must enter the Sundering, an arena where only the fastest, strongest and deadliest survive long enough to be selected for the emperor's elite guard. As the stakes get higher and secrets emerge, she quickly draws to the ire of the Primus, a powerful figure charged with protecting the empire, while also finding herself dependent on the emperor's sadistic son Rorik to hone her growing powers. With Arvel's destiny deeply entwined with these two vampires, she must unravel a conspiracy that will change everything she thought she knew about herself, but only if she can complete her mission and survive the arena. I am excited. You know what? I googled whether this was a why choose, because the first time I read the synopsis, I don't think it clicked that we have the Primus and also the son of the emperor and that they're two different characters. So I just googled whether this was a why choose, because personal preference, like I always have a personal preference, is the problem. So when we're talking about why choose, I'm like, this is why you should choose, because this man is the best of these men. And I just saw a couple of reviews where it says like the only downfall of this book is that it has a love triangle, and I'm like, sign me up, man. I love love triangles. Give me a love triangle over a why choose any day of the week. I'm so excited for this one. And the adult book, which I'm very excited about, kind of for a similar reason as to why I'm excited about We Who Will Die. First off, the theme is Dagger and Dynasty, and the book is of course Dawn of the Firebird by Sarah McGall Rana. So I really love the color palette on this, the purple and the gold. I think it does a very good job of capturing the essence of the original cover. Like you could tell that this is an alternate edition of that book, I feel. I will of course overlay the original over the top so you guys get to see the difference. I do feel like I like this artist. I've seen this artist work before, Mona Finden, but I feel like this is an instance where I would have preferred not to have a person on the cover. I still think it's a very pretty edition, but I also think it's because I like the original cover of this, whereas for things like We Who Will Die, I don't really have an opinion on the original. This had a little bit more to compete with. I like, once again, the color palette of the entire thing, including the edges. We have, oh, I like these are pretty, the end papers, which are different on each side. Under the dust jacket, this is really nice. I like the more traditional art style that we have on the naked hardcover and the end papers. And then under the dust jacket, of course, we have the original UK cover, which as you can see, it's a very nice one in a different color. And I do actually like this because the book is obviously called Dawn of the Firebird, and this is in more dawn colors than the original. So the main reason I'm excited about this one is because a large part of the plot is our main character infiltrating an academy that is training her oppressors to participate in the academy with the hope of breaking it apart from the inside, which is of course the main part of the first book in the Red Rising series, which is my favorite series of all time. But there is of course a little bit more to this than that, so I will read you guys the synopsis. The discarded daughter of an emperor, Camilla Zarzad, is raised with her mother's nomadic tribe until a violent raid ends that peaceful life. Amid the chaos of death, the heavenly magic of Nor awakens within her, granting her the power to wield a cosmic light. Camilla suddenly goes from outsider to weapon, finally accepted into her father's court. But tragedy strikes again, and when her clansmen are defeated by a rival empire, Camilla vows lasting vengeance as she escapes. Hiding her identity, Camilla infiltrates the enemy army academy. She studies Jinn, magic, and martial arts from the cutthroat mystic monks in a bid to bring down an empire from within. But through her studies, Camilla begins to question her father's teaching of war and rule. With war escalating across kingdoms and a twisted darkness spreading within her, Camilla is torn between two impossible choices: revenge or freedom. So as you can see, this is very reminiscent plot-wise of Red Rising, which is why I'm so excited to get into this one. And it is also going to be the first book that I read, hopefully, if it is the first book that I read, because I have a couple from Bloomsbury's Archer imprint, which is their new fantasy imprint that I am an ambassador for. So I'm really excited to have such a beautiful edition of this book, and I hope to get to it sometime soon. So lastly for the books, I have the Fairyloot edition of so gorgeous. I could not resist this copy, guys. I have the Fairyloot edition of The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. Once again, an edition where I love having the character art on the cover. I am obsessed with this cover. I don't even know if I'm going to like this book. This edition, I feel, makes it look a lot more moody than I believe that it is. The reason why I'm unsure about this is because I think it has a lot of humor in it, and depending on the humor, like, that's not something that always works for me. But I loved the cover. The printed edges are what sold this for me. I love the pink and black design. It's beautiful. One of the most stunning books, and it's weird for me to say that because it's pink and I'm not a pink person. It's not one of my favorite colors at all. Under the dust jacket we have the regular cover. I think this is a slightly different colorway. I think that the original is more pink, whereas this is purple. Oh, this is book one in a series. We also have custom end paper art, as always, different on both sides. Really like the art style on that as well. And I don't actually know anything about this book, so we're going to read the synopsis. All I know is that it's romantic and humorous, but the synopsis says live, love, loathe. Delve into this whip smart, slow burn enemies to lovers romantasy, featuring a scholarly healer and a gentleman assassin, set in an exquisite fantasy world from debut author Bridget Knightley. Osric Mordaunt, member of the SIREN Order of Assassins, is in dire need of healing. Naturally, such is the grim comedy of fate, the only healer who can help is Orion Fairham, preeminent scientist, bastion of moral good, and member of an enemy order. Orion is desperate for funding to heal the sick. So desperate that when Osric bribes her to help him, she accepts, even if she detests him and everything he stands for. A forced collaboration ensues. The brilliant woman in STEM is coerced into working with the PhD in murders, much to Orion's disgust, as Osric and Orion work together to heal his illness and investigate the mysterious reoccurrence of a deadly pox. They find themselves ardently denying their attraction, which only fuels the heat between them. You know, I'm kind of a little bit more sold on this now because it is reminding me of like an Ali Hazelwood synopsis, but a fantastical one. I really hope I like this one though, because I think it will break my heart to have to unhaul this. I will if I have to. If I don't like the book, I don't have time in my life or room on my shelves to have reminders of books that I don't enjoy anymore, but I hope it's a win for me, guys. I really do. So that wraps up the book portion of this unboxing. We are going to be ending with the Lunar Bookish Flames candle package. This is a super heavy one. I'm excited to see what Stranger Things candles we have though. Like I said, I'm not up to date. I haven't started season 5. Kind of want to do a full rewatch. Don't know if I can be bothered, but we'll see. And until then, I will enjoy these lovely candles. Is this a wax melt? It is. I really like the Lunar Bookish Flames wax melts. This one is beautiful art. This one is Henry, the first one. And I think it's this that I can smell. It's very fragrant. Oh, that is, it kind of is a floral. It says apple, citrus, pelargonium, cinnamon, clove, sandalwood, vetiver, and cedar. It's really fresh. I feel like that would be a good one to put on after you finish cleaning, because I don't know about you guys, I love to light a candle when I'm done cleaning. Next up we have what feels like one of the large candles. And this one, oh, I like the green color on this. This one is High. I really like the artist that Manos has used for these ones. The scent is butter, plum, sugared violet, vanilla orchid, and sandalwood. Oh, I love that one. This one smells really familiar to me, but I can't put my finger on what it is, but that's definitely a really nice scent. Running Up That Hill, an iconic song on its own, made more iconic by Stranger Things. Oh my god, I love this one. This is like, this is a really strong, like, I don't know if it's a masculine perfume scent, but it's definitely got that perfumey edge to it. It's grapefruit, mandarin, mint, amber, leather, and rose. I think it's the leather that's making it feel masculine, but that is so nice. Another one of the big tins, Hopper's Hearth. This one is tobacco, honey, citrus, spice, woods, sandalwood, amber, tonka beans, and patchouli. This is honey and tobacco. Oh, this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time, just in general. I love black on black glitter as well. Next up we have my girl Joyce Byers, and the scent on this one is grapefruit, rose, saffron, jasmine, violet, musk, oud, amber, and leather. Oh, this one is more of a light floral, a clean floral maybe. Next up we have Mad Max. Oh, Percy glitter. The scent on this one is violet, zesty lemon, pine, frankincense, sandalwood, patchouli, amber, and tobacco. Oh, this one's nice. I feel like I can really smell the violet in this one, whereas it was a little bit, this has sugared violet in, and it was a little bit more low-key. This one smells kind of like a Parma violet, but a little bit more jazzed up. up. Well, not one of my favorite characters by any means. We have Will the Sorcerer. The scent on this one is tobacco, ginger, rose, honey, amber, leather, rum, bergamot, and tarragon. And this one's nice. It smells slightly medicinal, which I think is the honey, but it's a little bit more of a low-key one than some of the ones that we've already opened. My boy! One of my favorite characters is, of course, Steve. And the scent on this one is bergamot, ginger, pink pepper, saffron, cinnamon, nutmeg, oud, jasmine, patchouli, sandalwood, amber, and vanilla. Ooh, that one's like really perfumey. It feels like a home fragrance, which I mean candles are, but that's what the scent is giving. One of the smaller candles, which to show you the size comparison, this is the smaller candle tin compared to the larger one. But this one is Harrington and Henderson. Oh my god, don't even talk to me about this. The scent on this one is amber, bergamot, sage, lavender, mandarin, sandalwood, leather, nutmeg, and black pepper. This one smells a little smoky, but also a little rich with those herbs. L, aka 11. This one is waffles, butter, maple syrup, pumpkin, and brown sugar. So we're channeling the Eggo element here. Ooh, that one's really good. That one's like a traditional sweet pumpkin scent, which we love all year round, not just in autumn. Beckner. The scent on this one is citrus, leather, tobacco, wood, oud, and incense. This one's like super masculine and also smells a little bit smoky. A smaller tin again, we have Never Change Dustin. This one is black currant, pear, jasmine, freesia, vanilla, amber, and caramelized patchouli. Oh, that one's super sweet. Like a perfumey sweet, not a like food sweet. Next up we have Frozen Reunion. This one is oud, rose, and vanilla. Simple but nice. This one is definitely a floral, and the rose is stronger than I expected, given that it has the vanilla in there to temper it. I think it's heightened by the oud. Our last small tin. I love all the Steve candles. Scoops Ahoy Steve. This one is vanilla ice cream, cherry, and mallow. I should like this one. Oh yeah, this is really sweet. Smells like a really intense cherry bakewell. And then the final jar that we have, Metalhead Eddie. The scent on this one is cherry again, saffron, apricot, olive, leather, smoke, smoldering woods, and amber. Oh, this one's really masculine. With the cherry and the apricot in there, I really thought that this was going to be a more fruity scent, but it's a lot deeper than that. I do like that one. So in terms of my favorites from the Stranger Things collection, I think we're gonna have to go with Hopper's Hearth. The dark honey and tobacco, that is just generally one of my favorite scents, but I also really like both of the Max candles, which is High and also Mad Max. So if you guys would like to get your hands on any of the candles from Lunar Bookish Flames, just in general, or their Stranger Things collection, then do remember that you can use my code, which is Becca15, to get yourself a discount on your entire purchase. And of course, a big thank you to Manos for sending all of these lovely candles my way. So that brings us to the end of this unboxing. Quite a modest one, but I'm really excited about a lot of these books. I think the only one that I'm not overly enthusiastic about is Cold Wire. It still sounds like something that I may enjoy, but the other four I'm actively eager to get to. So I'll flip us around so that you guys can see the collection of sprayed edges we have today. Let me know down below what your favorite edition of this stack is. Mine is 100% the Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, and it also definitely wins the best edge challenge as well. So as always, a big thank you to Fairyloot, Lunar Bookish Flames Candles, and Penguin Michael Joseph for providing some of the boxes that I showed to you guys in this video. As always, down in my description box you will find links to the websites and social media of any boxes or companies featured in this video, as well as any discount codes that I may have. But please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna. Down in my description box you'll also find a link to my Goodreads, my Instagram, and my Patreon if you want to join me on any of those. So that's it from me today, guys. Bye! Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.